Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Ilishka, what's happening with Herman? Folk are saying he's on the rampage.
He's been badly treated, but you'd better talk to him about it.
And where can I find him?
If he's not somewhere around here, he must be drowning his sorrows in the alehouse in Ratai. Unfortunately.
Ilishka, what's happening with Herman? Folk are saying he's on the rampage.
He's been badly treated, but you'd better talk to him about it.
Thanks.
Bye.
What's going on? The folk in town are talking about you.
They shot on me. That's what.
What? Who did?
All of them.
Wait. Tell me again from the start.
All right, if you want. They caught Peter of Dauba, George Weiss, and a fellow named Harold that everyone calls Frost. They're scum who've been hunted for months. Now they've finally been caught, there's a big execution being prepared. Folk will come from miles around to watch.
Well, that's a good thing for you, isn't it?
It would be, if I was fucking doing it.
Isn't it the custom for you to do all the executions in Ratai?
It is. Not just the custom, but by bloody right. You're not being replaced, they said. This is just a loan of Gallows Hill.
They really did fuck you over.
My words exactly.
So who's doing the job?
They invited Executioner Heinz all the way from Kuttenberg. They say it's going to be a big show. Have I ever fucked up an execution? I always behead them in one blow. And when his lordship wants to drag out a hanging, I leave them kicking for minutes. If he wants it quick, they're stiff as soon as I drop them. And they push me aside like that, after all these years of service.
What can we do about it?
Nothing. His lordship's decided, and that's that.
Nothing? You think they should be allowed to get away with this?
Well, no, but
You have the right to executions in Ratai, don't you?
I most certainly do.
Then you're in the right. Don't tell me you can't think what to do about it.
The trouble is, they already paid the executioner and he's come here along with his assistants.
We can't stop the executions, unless Heinz drops dead on the spot.
Maybe that could be arranged?
How? I'm an honorable man. What the hell are you suggesting?
It's just a joke. I didn't mean it.
A bloody stupid joke. The best thing would be if he fucked up the executions. The famous Kuttenberg executioner can't handle the job. The mob would laugh him out of town and beg me to take over. They'd never invite him here again.
Great, so how do we go about it?
The problem is, I don't know what the sentences will be. They'll only announce them just before the executions, and then it'll be too late to do anything.
Can't we just get him blind drunk?
That wouldn't work. He's no beginner. And even if we did get him drunk, they'd just postpone the executions till he's sobered up.
Suppose I liberate the convicts.
Why the hell would you do that?
Well, it would be an embarrassment, and then...
Only for Ratai, you dolt. Not for the executioner.
Would the bailiff know more?
Maybe. But most likely only Heinz will know the sentence. I've got an idea, though. Will you help me?
Of course.
Great. Thank you, Henry.
So where should I start?
Find out from the bailiff what their crimes are, and then have a look in the Black Chronicle at the Rat House.
It goes back before my time. You're bound to find records of some similar offenders in it. You need to find people who committed the same crimes and came from the same sort of background, noble or lowborn. That way you can find out what the appropriate punishments are.
Then come back to me, and we'll work out what to do.
I'll get moving.
And Henry?
Hmm?
They want to do the executions on my gibbet at Gallows Hill. I can hold them up for a while, but probably no more than a week.
I'll bear that in mind.
Good health to you.
I hear there's going to be a big execution here.
There certainly is. It'll be a glorious event for our town. They'll be talking about it for years.
Who's for the chop?
The biggest outlaws and reprobates for miles around. Peter of Dauba, George Weiss, and Frost Herald.
What did they do?
What didn't they do, more like? They caused trouble all over the country.
Who's this Peter of Dorba?
A noble who lost his fortune. He's been holding up merchants for months.
That's all?
At first, but then his gang started getting bloodthirsty. They wiped out a whole squad that was hunting them. He won't walk away from this.
What can you tell me about Herald?
They call him Frost because he's always cool as ice, until he starts. I've seen plenty of killers and thugs in my day, but that one's got the devil in him.
Why?
They say the only thing that'll put a smile on his face is the sound of screaming and weeping. That beast kills for pleasure. When they caught him, he had a candle made from the arm of an infant. For luck, he said.
Christ. What about Weiss?
No one actually knows where he came from, but they say the murdering started with him. He never leaves witnesses. He'd rather wipe out a whole village than take a chance.
Thanks, Bailiff. That's all I need to know.
Farewell.
Oh. Good health to you, sir.
Could I take a look at the Black Chronicle?
Indeed you cannot.
It would only take a moment, and
Do you have any idea how much it's worth? If I let one of you near it, next thing every yokel in the manor will be clamoring to get in here.
For your information, the bailiff gave us permission.
I'll take your word for it.
Do I look like some kind of yokel?
Well, maybe it would be all right for you to take a look. Farewell.
fellow. Here's a hoe.
Yeah! 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 I need your advice.
Did you find out what they did? And did you read the Black Chronicle?
Yes.
So tell me what you found out, and I'll see what I can come up with.
Just bear in mind, I can help you work it out, but you'll only find exactly what you need in the Ratai Black Chronicle. Every executioner has his own way of doing things, and this bastard might have different methods in mind.
I'll have to go and find out more. I need your advice.
Did you find out what they did? And did you read the Black Chronicle?
Yes.
So tell me what you found out, and I'll see what I can come up with.
Just bear in mind, I can help you work it out, but you'll only find exactly what you need in the Ratai Black Chronicle. Every executioner has his own way of doing things, and this bastard might have different methods in mind.
Peter of Dorba has many murders on his soul, but he's still a nobleman. He's to be hanged.
They're going to hang a nobleman? That doesn't sound likely.
Peter of Dorba has many murders on... He's to be drowned.
I don't believe it. That's the penalty for arson.
Peter of Dorba has many murders on it. He'll be buried alive.
Is he a woman in disguise?
No.
Then they won't bury him alive.
Peter of... He's to be tortured first.
They'd torture a nobleman? That doesn't sound likely.
Peter of Dorba. He's to get 30 lashes of the rod.
That's all? They wouldn't bring an executioner all the way from Kuttenberg just for that. That doesn't sound likely.
Peter of Dorba. He's to be burnt at the stake.
Burnt. A nobleman. Henry, that's nonsense.
Peter of Dorba has many... He's to be courted by horses.
That doesn't seem likely. That punishment's used for different crimes.
Peter of Dorba has many murders on his soul, but he's still a nobleman. His neck is going on the block.
That makes sense. His crimes are great, but he's still a nobleman, so he gets an honorable death.
George Weiss is a bloodthirsty bastard who left a trail of corpses behind him. His neck is going on the block.
Beheading? A killer like him gets an honorable death. That doesn't sound likely.
George Weiss is a... They're going to drown him.
I don't believe it. That's the penalty for arson.
George Weiss is a bloodthirsty bastard. He's to be buried alive.
Is he a woman in disguise?
No.
Then they won't bury him alive.
George Weiss is a blood... He's to get 30 lashes of the rod.
That's all? They wouldn't... That doesn't...
George... He's to be burnt at the stake.
Burnt? For murder. You must have read it wrong.
George Weiss is a blood... He'll be tortured first.
He's got plenty of dead men on his conscience. But I reckon it'll be one of the others who gets tortured.
George Weiss is... He hasn't earned an honourable death. He's for a long drop on a short rope.
A murderer deserves nothing better. That makes sense.
Frost Herald is the worst of them all, sent by Satan himself. The things he's done would make a demon blanche. He'll be hanged.
That's all. I'd say hanging's too good for that devil.
Frost Herald is the worst of them all, sent by Satan himself. The things he's done would make a demon blanche. He's to be beheaded.
What? You mean to tell me they're giving that fucker an honorable death? That's all? They wouldn't bring an executioner all the way... That doesn't sound likely.
Frost Herald. He's to get 30 lashes of the rod.
What did he do? Steal an apple? How did you come up with that horse?
Frost Herald is the worst. He's to be buried alive. No.
Then they won't...
Frost Herald. He's to be drowned.
I don't believe it. That's the...
Frost Herald. The executioner will take his time with that one. He'll be begging to die. If I read correctly, it'll start with ripping the flesh.
Aye, could be. He deserves nothing better.
So, have we got everything we need?
We've covered all the possibilities. There's nothing more we can think up.
So, what's the plan then?
An executioner's greatest boast is to behead with one blow. That's why an executioner's sword needs to be a splendid piece of craftsmanship and sharp as a razor.
I follow you, but how can I get to the sword?
It won't be easy. The executioner's sword is one of his most valuable instruments.
Couldn't it just be switched for a different one?
He'd notice straight away. It's different than a regular sword, heavier with a blunt point. The balance is different too.
I could take yours and...
He'd recognize that too. An executioner knows his sword like the back of his hand. He'd notice as soon as he picked it up.
So I'll have to steal it, dull the blade, and put it back before anyone notices?
Yes, that's probably the only way.
That'll be interesting. And how can I dull the sword? Should I hack at a stone wall?
I thought you were a blacksmith, son. It's enough to cock up the honing. That will make much less noise.
That'll do me.
With ripping of the flesh, the bastard has to suffer, but survive as long as possible.
So, if Herald drops dead right at the start...
The executioner will look like a fool.
But how can I make sure it happens?
I don't know. It depends on the skill of the executioner. An experienced one starts in places where there's no threat of heavy bleeding, the sides, the chest.
And the Kuttenberg executioner is definitely experienced.
No doubt. They use a kind of special tongs, and in between the ripping, the convict's wounds are treated so he can take more.
What if I get the one who's supposed to dress the wounds drunk?
Don't do that. It could be someone from Ratai, and even if it isn't, the blame wouldn't fall on the executioner.
Maybe the tongs could be spiked with something nasty.
And you'd know what to use?
I know a little, and I might be able to get something.
That would work. Good idea, Hal.
That'll do me. What about the hanging?
If the rope breaks when it's done, it's an unbelievable disgrace for the executioner. Folk see it as the will of God, and sometimes he even has to let the condemned man go.
I could shoot the rope through from a distance with an arrow.
Don't be daft. No, you couldn't.
But
Where did you get such a stupid idea? From some wench? Even if you somehow hit it, that rope's much too strong.
Well,
And even if you did manage to shoot it through, do you really think nobody would notice?
maybe it's not the best plan I've ever come up with.
I certainly hope not.
Supposing I just cut it?
I doubt it would work. The executioner will check it before the hanging when he's preparing the gallows. He'd probably notice.
What about switching it?
That could work. I've got an old rope here I don't use anymore. It looks fine, but it's run. It'll be perfect.
Great, I'll use that. That'll do me. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good day to you.
Let's talk about... Let's have a word about the price.
Well,
Is it? Very well, I agree.
Yeah.
If he tries to torture anyone with this, the lucky fellow will die quickly. That should do it. He'll never hold the weight of a grown man.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
walking around like a footpad. Everyone has to carry a light at night by law.
Watch what you're doing.
Yeah. 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 Hey, you couldn't chop the head off a chicken with this. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
About the executions.
Is it done? Can I let them get on with the executions now?
Yes.
Now all we have to do is go and enjoy the show.
No, you're...
What the...
Lord above, what is it now?
Sir, I've been to Ujits, and the parish priest there is very odd indeed. He's very handy with a sword. Do you know anything about him, sir?
Godwin? Aye, an intriguing fellow. He's the youngest son of one of the lords of Kuttenberg. He was sent to the university to become a priest, as is customary with the youngest son. But he didn't much care for it. So when he finished studying, instead of taking up his parish, he went roaming. I imagine he had a pretty adventurous life. And then one day he came back and settled down. Hanush would know more about him. Good luck to you.
God be with you, good sir.
Farewell.
Dave.
Do you take me for a fool?
Ow!
What do you want from me now? God bless.
Good day to you. Take care now. Hey. God be with you. Are you playing tricks on me?
Good day. Farewell.
How are you? Sure. Farewell. What the?
Jesus Christ be...
Jesus Christ. May the Lord watch over you.
Take care. Into your hands, Lord, I commend my spirit. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, who redeemed me by his precious blood, have mercy on me and lead me to eternal glory. Amen.
What the
Lord above, what? Sure, farewell. Hey! Damn!
Sure. Farewell.
Why don't I come and see you tonight and you can show me how much you feared for me?
You rogue. Not tonight.
God be with you, lad.
My
What can I do
cousin's
for
visiting.
you?
All right. Tomorrow night.
Sir, I met the parish priest of Uja, and I must say he's a very interesting
All
man.
right then.
I should
Come
say
over after
so.
work.
Have you ever seen him at swordplay? Not bad for a man of the cloth, is he? Rumour has it, when he finished his studies at the university where his father sent him, he decided the religious life wasn't for him and vanished to foreign parts. They say he made a living as a mercenary. I even heard he fought against the Turk at the Battle of Kosovo. And then he suddenly came back and settled down here. No doubt it cost his family plenty, but he's a fair man and I'm fond of him. There's a lot to be said for a priest with a good understanding of vice. God be with you.
Good day. May the Lord watch over you.
Did you see that? An utter disgrace.
It certainly was. The executioner couldn't hold his head high after that.
True. The whole crowd was looking forward to it, and right at the start he fucked up the beheading. And then he took the tongs and... and the fellow kicked the bucket right away. Jesus, how he gaped. and then furious as a rabid dog, furious, he grabs the last one. And he wasn't even able to hang him. I'll be forever grateful to you, Hal. You saved my job, and you deserve a reward for it.
Thank you.